This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I am watching the glove selection of Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk, of course. Um, Anthony Joshua right now has some Grants, which are pretty decent gloves. They look rather small, honestly, and I think the way they're shaped, they are puncher's gloves. Okay, so I think that AJ wants more of a puncher style glove so he can get the job done, rip some left hooks to the body, right? And I think that he's trying on his first pair. Dude, they fit his glove, his hands snug, bro. You know what I mean? That's the benefits of having big hands. You know what I mean? You have to get gloves that accommodate them because if not, they're going to give you cramps. You can end up with damage. You know, so you have to make sure they fit in there just right so you can ball your fist like this here. You guys hit that like button. I mean, this is a short, spontaneous live stream that I'm putting down. They got Robert Garcia and okay, Angel Fernandez is in there also. And here comes the good old ad. Cool.
These pizza houses now hire.
There we go. Back to action. Okay, now that was a red pair. Now he has a black pair. And he's shoving them in there. Nice and snug. You know, and this just really dawns on me, you know, looking at accusations of like Tyson Fury and all that shit. Like, if you know how a hand and glove is, let me show you guys. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, let me show you my view. All right, look at this. Now you see. Now watch this. Watch this. Okay. Now, look how he's had to stuff his hand and squeeze it in there. Right? There is no fucking way he could have had his hand in that wrist area of that glove without it falling off, bro. So, I mean, there's no way. See, that's that red pair I was talking about, right? And for a minute, he's going to put on the black pair. So he's going to try them on. So he has to take his watch off, of course. And now he's trying those. Uh-oh, he's going back into the red pair. That's how you got to do it, man. You have to see how they feel. I mean, they look all right. You see how he pulled that off? You see how snug that was? Now, he's putting on those black pair.
I thought the red ones give us that like the 80s era. Remember the 80s era?
Oleksandr, hello from the Ukraine. I am very feel. Shouts out to you, brother, from the Ukraine. Football first. Kurt, your haircut looks good. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. Abbas said, we are praying for AJ to win tomorrow. Counterpunch to you. Daniel Crawford. And it took 10 minutes to decide. Usyk took 10 seconds. I mean, hey, you know, a lot of times, you know, you have to get it right. Like, I think But Usyk has a particular brand. If you notice, most of the Ukrainians, you got Vasyl Lomachenko, you know, Oleksandr Usyk, even Oleksandr Volsnik, all of them wore the same type. And I'm going to show you guys here in a minute when it gets to Oleksandr Usyk. You know, but it does ooze confidence of him selecting a glove like that. You know what I mean? Those Grant gloves look suspect small. Warts, they do. I'm not going to lie, they look small. That's the first thing I thought when I saw them, like, damn, they look small. But understand, the way they're made and the way the weight is distributed, right? It's... So we got the black kind, looking like Mike Tyson. But the weight of the glove is the same. It's just you have more, some are more on the padded area, some are more on the wrist area. You know what I mean? So you can have that puncher. But it's the way of how the glove is designed for a particular function, okay? You want to knock somebody's head off, that's more of a puncher's glove. Now we got Oleksandr. Let's get ready to rumble! Oh, he probably picked the black pair because they look better with his outfit. Probably so. Mr. Boxing fan, there's no, you know, I can't argue with that. Because you know he's gonna come out like with white or black or white, you know what I mean? So yeah, you got a point there. Compared to the rival with Grant, looks a lot more like padding, just bigger gloves. Yeah, you look, and if you look, check this out. Look at my view, right? If you look at, yeah, those rivals, okay, or rivals, right? That's what they wear. That's all they wear, bro. Vasyl, Oleksandr. I don't know about the Klitschko's. I think they wore, you know, different types, but those guys, they stick specifically to those. But if you notice, those gloves are more, you see the padding on the outside of the glove? Because that's more for blocking, okay? So it reminds me of Evander Holyfield. He used to have the same type of gloves, especially when he fought Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis had a Grant glove. No, were they Grant? No, they're Everlast. And the Everlast glove that Lewis had were smaller, but they were more for punching. The ones that Evander Holyfield had, they were more padded because they were more for blocking. So he can block shots, and it's more of a padding when he needs to absorb a punch. Okay?
You got the horsehair ones, the same ones you wore last time.
Yeah. Same ones he wore last time. Exactly. It's all they wear. See, and I think that comes with, and that's it, guys. You know, and I think that comes with experience, knowing what you want. You know, Usyk put those ones on like, yep, these will work. Because, you know, they all fit the same. I think rivals or rivals, so however you pronounce it, I think they are used. They're made in a straight direct form versus, you know, you have Everlast, they made different ways. You got horsehair, you know, foam, you know, it's different ones. Compare the rivals with Grant's look a lot more like padding and just bigger gloves. Fuck off, Big Doss Femi gonna get wrecked. Kamal, counterpunch to you, brother. Counterpunch back. Ab said, AJ is like Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali. He makes boxing exciting. You know, AJ, that's the reason why he gets paid all the big bucks, bro. I'm surprised they aren't sponsored to wear a specific brand. You know what? I'm surprised that Anthony Joshua ain't sponsored for a boxing glove. You know, you would think that he would be, you know, for like Reyes or, you know, Grant or Everlast or somebody, you know? Unicat, hello there. Usyk getting smoked. Ono's. Ono says Usyk's getting smoked. Well, damn. But I like what I saw. And I'm glad that AJ, took time to pick his glove. You know what I mean? I think that's important. Also, it's important enough to know what you want versus it's important to know what something feels like before you choose a particular glove. I mean, it's all good. If he took 30 minutes, because you have to remember something. I want you guys to keep in mind, all right? Robert Garcia is the same coach that trained Marcos Maidana. And you remember Marcos Maidana and the issue he had with Floyd, or the Floyd had with him, where his glove, they say it was too small. They said wasn't no padding in it. And you got to get another glove. You don't get another glove, it won't be another fight. Put him in there with the same glove I have. And then Robert was like, well, you can wear these. He's like, hell no, fuck no. I'm going to tell you right now. And he put him in. He was like, no, it ain't no padding in these gloves. And, that was a big issue. And I know when the Deontay Wilder accusations against Tyson Fury came out, they tried to use that as an example. I think it was either Dante or whatever, I think it was one of those channels that tried to say, you know what? Robert Garcia tried to do the same thing. He tried to say that, that these gloves were legal, which they were legal. They were legal. I mean, any glove that comes through there, that's not the problem or the fault of the trainer or the fighter, the commission. You know what I mean? Now, if you want to put the system on trial, that's one thing. But at the end of the day, Floyd wasn't having it. But what people don't know, Floyd paid Maidana more money to wear a particular type glove that he didn't want. You guys, I don't know if you guys know that or not, but that's exactly what happened. I can't remember how much money he paid him. Let me try to look it up real quick. It might be on a stamped info. All right, let me check real quick. But I know he paid Marcos Maidana. How much did Floyd pay Marcos Maidana to use a different glove? Look, I didn't get 1.5 million to wear Floyd's glove. Uh-oh. Check this out. Now, Marcos Maidana has rejected reports that Floyd paid him 1.5 to use different gloves, which Mayweather won the 12th round. Following the official weigh-in, Mayweather rejected Maidana's selection, the Everlast MX. According to Mayweather, the gloves had little to no padding around the knuckle area. After Maidana selected a different pair of Everlast gloves and they were approved by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Mayweather still rejected them. After a long standoff, Maidana was forced to cave and selected a different pair. Maidana says Mayweather refused to fight until a different pair of gloves were selected. They were scheduled a rematch in September. There were rumors that I got paid on Floyd's glove, but he said that's not true. I had to accept his gloves because otherwise they were not going to fight. So he wasn't paid. So there you go. He wasn't paid. But the thing is, but you see how they were already approved, but Floyd wasn't having that shit. But then again, to be fair, if Floyd, if you know Floyd, anything about Floyd, he has bad hands. Floyd has bad hands, and he's had brittle bad hands for a long time. I don't know why. Maybe wear and tear, because he was fighting 20 years, people. So I think when he felt the glove, those were gloves that his brittle hands or damaged hands he wouldn't wear personally, because he's not dumb enough to wear a glove with that lesser padding support. You know what I mean? It's gonna feel AJ messing around like a schoolgirl. Oh, that's pretty colorful glove. Then Wilder broke his hand. Yeah, well, there you go. Wilder broke his hand on the glove, but see, Floyd, he always used heavy padded Grant gloves because he wanted to protect his hands. See, one thing you need to understand about Floyd, though, Floyd could have been a hell of a fighter if he didn't have the injuries to his hands. He would have jacked people up, bro. I wonder if he can win and become 3 times champ, or if we're just being loyal to him because we like him. Mr. Boxing fan, why can't we have both? Why can't you like him and, he could be a 3-time champ? It's going to feel so weird seeing Kurt with a full head of hair. No, I don't know. I don't know if it'll grow right away. It'll take a while. It'll take a while to grow. Nikki Blue Eyes Austin, Kurt. Good evening, Kurt. Glad to catch you live again. Lovely to see the new you. Just like we will see the new three-time unified heavyweight champion. Bars, the new you. Because I have some new news. The new you. Appreciate you, Nikki. Zane the Pain. Joshua choosing Grant seems like he's gonna box rather than look for a KO. Well, Zane the Pain. Bars. It's I think those gloves are really small, and you can have Grant Puncher's glove, just like you can have Puncher's glove, and I think they make Puncher's glove for every type of brand. I think every brand makes Puncher's gloves. Yeah. Big Wah, evening, brother. Abba said, win or lose, it's still going to be exciting to watch AJ fight. To watch AJ fight other boxer like Deontay Wilder. Yeah, I like to see that, you know. And then you guys, if I don't know if you've seen the new video I just posted about an hour ago. Well, Wilder said that he has to come out and he has to actually, you know what I mean, fight. He has to fight. Not fight, but he has to retire Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury has to retire. So I don't know what the hell that's about. I don't know, and I'm not claiming to know. The only thing my educated guess would be, what the hell is that about? That's about something legal. You know, but this is what I don't like. Don't say I think he has to, it's legal, but I don't want to say too much. Dude, shut up. If you're not going to tell us what it is, don't say nothing. You know, but I think because he wanted to tell enough to everyone that says, hey, he's going to have to go. I can't say why, but he's going to have to go. You know what I mean? It's crazy. How things, champ? Hope all is well. Waylo 83, counterpunch to you. Brandon, Kurt, what's going to be the biggest shocker in the AJ Usyk fight? When somebody goes down. I mean, let's be real. What I want to see is somebody dropping the canvas. Somebody getting dropped, somebody going down. I don't care who it is. Somebody has to go down to the knees. Hell, if both fighters went down. And I'm getting bumps thinking about it. If both fighters go down in this fight, it would be like a Klitschko versus AJ. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is that would be who wants it more. If they both get up and they both survive their knockdowns and then they go to a decision, you would probably want to see that shit again. Because see, let's say AJ won the decision some kind of way. And then if they both went down, you know, people, vested interest people will think, you know what? AJ did a good enough job to win, or AJ got a draw. So the second one, if the second one is a draw, that means Usyk is still champion with one draw. Then that'll give AJ his first draw. Then it's like, okay, shit. Well, you know, they got to fight again. You know what I mean? But it's not in the rematch clause. So that's going to have to be, you know, renegotiated or whatever, because AJ wants those straps. So if it's a draw, I would be cool with the draw, actually. Because, see, that would put Oleksandr Usyk with a draw with another fighter like Tyson Fury had with Wilder the first fight out. And then we will have, you know, someone with similar records and a similar history with a different fighter. See, with Fury, he had Wilder's problems. With Oleksandr Usyk had Joshua problems. You know what I mean? So they had problems with each other. Waved. I am a casual. What's the difference between Usyk and Joshua's glove? Usyk, the glove that he used is Rivals. You know, that's a certain brand. Most of the Ukrainian fighters wear those type of brands. Looking at the way they looked and they're shaped, those gloves he has are more for blocking. So he want to block bigger shots. Honestly, blocking shots though, that's the last thing you want to do in form of defense, blocking. You don't want to block all the time, because what people don't understand, blocking is an absorption of a punch. Okay, slipping, moving, bobbing. You know what I mean? Those are the better ways, because it's no damage. You know what I mean? Because you're still receiving damage with a blocked punch. But if you're going to block a punch, you want a certain type of glove to block that punch, and that's what Oleksandr Usyk has picked. AJ had a smaller glove, like more of a puncher's glove. It fitted like a long shark. He's coming, I want my money. You know, tell Slick Ricky this is for his own good. You know what I mean? You know, this is from Freddie J. You know what I mean? He had more of a puncher's glove. So I think that's the difference between those two gloves. I hope that explained it. Waved. Grim Reaper looks good. Moshin Awan, if AJ establishes his jab in the early rounds, Usyk will get stopped. Usyk will get stopped. Usyk took AJ's jab away in the first fight. Well, here's the thing. If he took his jab away in the first fight, I'm trying to see how he can establish his jab in the second, because that movement is not going to stop with Usyk. And I heard Igis Klimas said, he said, you know, we're not stopping. Nothing's going to change. Usyk doesn't change how he's going to fight. He's going to fight. That's all he's going to do. That's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to fight. He's going to fight. So, I mean, and if something already worked and Joshua has a good jab, bro, you seen what he did to Povetkin. You seen what he did to Ruiz, too, you know, in the second fight. You seen what he did to Pulev. So, in those three fights, you seen a good jab from Joshua. Well, tell me why that jab didn't work against Usyk. And see, this is AJ boxing with the longer reach, bigger guy, taller guy. You know what I mean? That's supposed to be his advantage. And he's jabbing, trying to jab at him. And what is Usyk? And I seen the fight last night. What does Usyk do? Usyk did this. It was coming. Like that jab. Okay, so he was southpaw. That jab was coming. He was slipping right under that. The way he moves, it's almost equivalent of Mike Tyson, you know, moving. That's why he moves, because it's like a tick-tock, like a clock style movement. And the more you punch it, the more you move. It's hard to dictate where a fighter's head's going to be if that mother sucker's on a swivel. Okay, that mother sucker's on a swivel. It's kind of hard. You know, you gotta, you know what I mean? And that's what Usyk was doing. Usyk was just using that head movement and nullifying that jab, taking it away from him. Now, had he established that jab, it would have been a totally different fight. Usyk would have been more busted up, probably had eye problems. And when you start having eye problems, it starts to mess with you. If it starts to mess with your sight, you can't poker face that. You can't see. A lot of times people like, dude, I can't see. So a lot of times they stop fights over swelling or cuts due to vision problems. If you can't see a fighter, you're in trouble. You're up the shit's creek. So a lot of times, you know, that happens, but it didn't happen to Usyk because Usyk wasn't getting hit with that jab from AJ. Okay. Alexander James. AJ, he used grants. Usyk uses rivals just like Loma, just like Oleksandr Volsnik used to. Volsnik is still practicing. He's still training. So he's like that go-to sparring partner for a lot of fighters, because he was with, I think he was with Canelo. Yeah, he helped Canelo for the Bivol fight. Just give them MMA gloves covered in tar and shattered glass. Yeah, that'll work. Nikki Blue Eyes. Kurt, do you think what Wilder said about Fury had to retire due to legal reasons is because Daniel Kinahan or he wasn't paid? I'm thinking. I don't know. You know what? I didn't even think of Kinahan. That's a good one. Great counterpunch. I don't know. That's a whole issue I totally didn't even think about. But it could be over Daniel Kinahan. You know what I mean? Maybe. But we don't know. All we know is was Wilder wanted to give us a sneak peek. He wanted to give us something, but nothing. That's all I saw, guys. That's all I can take from that. Ivana Boban, let's go Joshua. Moshin, Awan, AJ can make this fight easy for himself if he fights like Klitschko, aka what Klitschko did to Povetkin. But listen, AJ, I can see the comparison to Klitschko, Vladimir. But what I don't see is the comparison of Povetkin to Usyk. It don't work that way. Usyk is nothing like Povetkin. Povetkin is a poor man's Mike Tyson, fights in an orthodox style. He launches shots He comes at you kind of like a David Tua. If you notice anything about Povetkin, he has a David Tua style. So really not even like Mike Tyson. He's more like David Tua because David Tua will lunge at you with a left hook. And that left hook catches you, it could put you out. It could hurt you bad. Ask David Price. You guys remember when Povetkin dropped David Price with a left hook after David Price dropped him? That was one hell of a fight. If you haven't seen that fight, I suggest you watch that mother sucker. It's a good fight, man. But Povetkin is more like that. But Usyk's nothing like that. So I can't see the comparison between Povetkin and Usyk. You know what I'm saying? They have nothing in common when it comes to boxing, styles, height, nothing. You know what I mean? The only thing they got in common is Russia's here and Ukraine's there. It's the only thing they got in common. Modern King boxing. What's great? Counterpunch boxing. Everything's great, bro. Feel good. Tree Duck. Joshua has the same gloves he had for the first release fight. Okay. Yeah, he did, didn't he? I do remember that. Good. I don't know if that's a bad omen. Agni, Kai never dies. Hope Usyk wins so we can see if Fury is really afraid of him. That is something that I was wondering myself. Absolutely. Good counterpunch, Agni. Jaconia, on what super sport we should watch the game? What super sport? I would say DAZN. What happens in the 12th round? What happens if it's a 12-round boring draw? Usyk keeps the belts because he's a champion, and AJ and both guys have a draw now. That's the only thing that happens. AJ has to lean on Usyk and tie him up. See, here's the thing, though. If he can do that, because, see, I think Fuck Off made this point like earlier this morning because I was kind of out of it, man. I was tired, bro. I needed some rest. I needed some sleep. I slept about 1:30, so I went to sleep maybe about 8. Slept to like 8 to 1, so I had to sleep. Remember, I'm in Central Time. And he said, how do we know if Usyk's not stronger than AJ? You know what I'm saying? Because just because you're taller don't make you stronger, and that's a good point. I think Usyk's physically a strong fucking guy. You don't have to be bigger. See, like, I know a lot of big guys that are not really powerful. They just appear powerful. That's the perception of looking at them by height standards. But that's because they're tall. Don't make them powerful or make them much powerful than someone that's not as tall. And what I know about Usyk, like a lot of those Ukrainians, those new, especially when the Papachenko trained guys, like, his son, Vasily and Oleksandr Usyk, they don't like to be tied up. That's their pet peeve. If you notice, Loma, especially when someone ties him up, he snatches away from him because he doesn't like to get tied up. Because that's at a disadvantage. Because one thing a person can do when he ties you up is hit you. If nothing is going to stop them from punching you unless besides the referee. And if the referee doesn't say anything, they're going to keep doing it. Look at like Marcos Maidana, Wilder, Fury, all of them do the same shit. Even Joshua will cuff you. If he misses with a jab and your head is there, he will cuff you and try to bring you and drag you out. He did that with Oleksandr the first fight, and he kind of hit him to the body, you know what I mean? Grab him and then punch him to the body. You know what I mean? Modern King Boxing, $2 super chat. Thank you, brother, for that love. Respect. Appreciate you, man. You didn't have to, but you did. Moshin, us real AJ fans won't care if he wins or loses. He'll come back. Counterpunch to you. That's how it's supposed to be. That's exactly how you're supposed to look at boxing and fighters. If you're a fan of a fighter, look, like you see all these damn football fans, these mother suckers will watch damn near a whole team go to some other place. And they will still support that team, which I don't understand that. I'm not a team guy like that. I don't, I used to love football when I was younger. I used to love basketball when I was younger. But then I grew to know like, okay, this guy's going here. he's with Cleveland now. And then okay, this guy's he's going to Miami now. He's with the Lakers now. He's with the Timberwolves. I'm like, yo, what's the point? You know, are you guys just in love with how the outfits, the uniforms, the colors? I don't know, because that team is not what it was 5 years ago. Everyone's been traded off like cattle. You know what I'm saying? It's different when a fighter goes to another promotional company because that fighter is still that fighter. You know? I just know you're going to jump up and shout when someone goes down. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to be easy. I hope I don't lose my voice because I'm gonna have to do a lot of recapping after that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to do a lot of recapping, so I hope I don't lose my voice. But I mean, if it's gone, it's gone. That's all I can say. You know. On what suit? Okay, we already done that. Wilder is a horrible man. He should visit the psychiatric hospital. He lost to Fury 3-0. Unicat. Well, it was actually a draw, the first one. He got the only knockdowns in the first fight. It was officially a draw. Now we could argue if he really lost or whatever, but it doesn't matter because he lost twice after that by the same damn person. Deontay Wilder has been beaten by one guy twice. I wonder how many people will still be talking up Usyk if he loses. Everyone is hyping up Usyk at the moment. You know the sad thing about it? Nobody. Because see, with Usyk, it's sad to say, if Usyk loses, Usyk will never get the opportunity. And here's the question you ask yourself. Who would you want to win out of Joshua and Usyk, and why? See what I mean? Like, if you have, hold on, guys. Damn, I dropped my phone. All right, sorry about that, guys. Had to take that. See, the thing is, XK shots, like I was explaining, boxing is so it's so fickle to the point where if Usyk, the only way Usyk fights everyone we want him to fight, he has to beat everyone. Because he's at the top. So once he gets to look at Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz hasn't done shit since he's lost to Joshua. That was almost like his nail in the coffin. Bam, bam. Nail in the coffin. Put him in there and nail him up. Nail him up in the board box. Why? Because it's like it is what it is, man. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. You know? But then Joshua, if Joshua wins, you got the Fury fight to look forward to. Yes, it will make a lot of money. Yes, it will be big. Yes, it will be massive. You know what I mean? And then if he beats Fury, right, then we'll see Wilder. So, like, it's all good. But then again, I'm a boxing fan. I want to see all these people fight. I want to see these guys fight, and one guy losing shouldn't matter if the fight happens. See, to me, if Usyk won, at least we may see a Usyk Tyson Fury. That's something we never seen. Yes, we've never seen Tyson Fury Joshua. However, what will happen if Joshua loses to Usyk this go around again? He could fight Wilder for the WBC. See, because Shelly Finkel, if you guys know, Shelly Finkel has already confirmed that they don't care if AJ loses or not, because they say it will still be a massive fight even if AJ loses. See, my thing is cool. I always wanted to see Anthony Joshua and Wilder because that pretty much started this whole fire around the heavyweight division. You know what I mean? Tyson Fury beat Vlad. Tyson Fury exits. Anthony Joshua beats Vlad. He goes on a crusade and collecting all the belts. He runs into Deontay Wilder, and then it kind of comes to a screeching halt with negotiations. And he said, she said, and all this type of stuff and narratives thrown around, and who did this and who did that, and who's right, who's wrong, who's telling the truth, who's telling a lie. All this stuff was all in the mix. And that's what really started the heavyweight division. Then what happened? Boom! AJ takes a L in 19. Then he gets criticized, crucified, and all kind of other-eyed, right? Bars. So then the early next year, because it wasn't long, as you guys remember, 8 months later, Wilder took his first L. Then you're like, damn, Fury really beat the shit out of this guy. And then all that stuff came in the narratives, and all that stuff started with him cheating, and all this stuff and all this other stuff and this and that and the other. Okay. And you know what I mean? So it's been a back and forth struggle. It's almost like the Game of Thrones. Who do you want to see on top? That's exactly how I look at the heavyweight division. Fight night tomorrow at last. Mr. Boxing Fan. Absolutely. Dude, I get butterflies thinking about that fight because I'm like, when the hell is it going to happen? The good thing is I don't have to wait all night. You guys have to wait all night. But my thing is, it'll be maybe 4 o'clock that fight will be on. Maybe 4. Latest 5. It starts at 12, don't it? So no, it'll probably be on about 3. Okay? So that fight will be about 3 o'clock. Bobby Dazzle says AJ has no heart. I don't think that's true, because if he had no heart, he wouldn't have got up from that damn Klitschko right hand. Remember when Klitschko hit him? You guys remember that. AJ was pouring the jab in the first fight, using as ranged fighter. He needs the jab, the chest. Usyk's lead hand, body, snap it, and Usyk will struggle, aka with what T.O. did to Loma. Yeah, but Teofimo has a different type of style than AJ. Teofimo is a good fighter, bro. He's very talented. And see, another thing about T.O. was very, very disciplined. He was very thorough on what he was doing. He didn't let Loma set a pace to the point where he just looked outclassed and outworked and just embarrassed. See, Loma starts embarrassing you when he figures you out. The only problem is he had Teofimo and he couldn't stop Teofimo from attacking and scoring. See, T.O. wasn't the best fighter in there. When Loma started to exchange, okay, he was getting beat. T.O. started to get beat up, but he didn't do enough of that, because by the time Loma really started to turn it on and hit him and get him, it was already too late. It was already 7-8 rounds, and then Teofimo wasn't done, okay? So he didn't just get overthrown and overwhelmed and outclassed by Loma like normal fighters Loma fights, okay? So with AJ, though, AJ just couldn't, the things that work for AJ wouldn't work in. And the things that he normally doesn't do was body shots. So that punch to the chest, you might be onto something. Don't hit him in the head, but hit him in the chest, knock him back. Hit the like, people. I know, dude, we got 260 people in here. Thank each and every one of you. I'll thank you again when you hit the like button. His jab wasn't quick enough to land on Usyk regularly, and he rarely landed the right hand. Well, that all goes to defense by Usyk. You have to understand, just like when you have special fighters, man, and Usyk, I believe, is a special fighter, to do what he did. And understand this, what Usyk did, and let's compare it to someone that is also a special fighter that did a similar route. Roy Jones. So you had Roy Jones over here. You have Usyk over here. Now, they all did the same shit. You know what I mean? They were kind of middleweight, and then they went up to, and then they went up light heavy, then cruiser, right? Now they eventually went to heavy. Well, Roy did that too, but Roy didn't fight everybody at heavyweight. Not to say Usyk has done that, but Usyk has fought and did better because it was already one guy like AJ that had all the belts. Okay, that's what it is. Fury would batter both at the same time. Fact. I doubt that. And here's the thing about Fury, and I'm gonna let somebody know. Let me lay a little, just give you something to think about. If Wilder can catch Fury with his right hand being 238 pounds, What makes you think he won't get hit by AJ? So I hear people saying, man, AJ ain't gonna be fast enough. No, that's not true. Because ask yourself this question: was AJ is AJ faster than Ali? Is he slower than Otto Wallin? Otto Wallin was able to hit Fury. Fury is not an inhittable guy. He's not a Floyd Mayweather, and even Floyd Mayweather got hit time to time. But he doesn't have a track record of defense like Mayweather. He doesn't. I don't care what people try to say. He doesn't have that type of defense. He has he has good defense, but it's not impeccable. Okay, he can get hit. AJ's jab had no snap in the first fight. Well, I mean, he didn't know where to. I mean, listen. If you go back and watch the first fight with Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk, you will see that AJ tried to jab him. It was nothing there when he did jab. So what happens if you're throwing jabs like that and you're missing? First of all, that's fucking embarrassing. Second of all, you're going to start pulling something. And AJ knew, like, okay, I'm not going to commit to a jab if I don't even really know he's there. And see, Usyk moves so much, the perception of the movement enabled AJ from throwing that jab like he should, because he didn't think and he didn't believe over time, after round, that that jab would land. So if he didn't believe he was going to land, he didn't throw it as much. So he was just trying to figure out what to do. So you see him, he would throw a punch every now and then. Hooking shots would work a lot. You know, he threw a right hook, you know, and I seen that landed. So I think he needs to do a lot of that. But I think AJ will come out throwing combinations. That's if Usyk is there for the combinations to be thrown at. There's no sense of throwing in the air. You'll be like Oscar De La Hoya and Pernell Whitaker. That was embarrassing for Oscar, even though they robbed him. The ref is the same one at the AJ versus Ruiz rematch. Really? What's your prediction? Oh man, I think I give Joshua 7 rounds. I give Usyk later round stoppage. That's just logical. Wilder knocks Johnston out for a month. Johnston. I keep hearing that. Who says that shit? Johnston. Who says that's that cat's name? Anyway. Roger Down says, I'm ready, bro. Yo, bro, you been holding up. How you been holding up? I've been good, man. I've been good. Jacob says, I am very feel. Adam says, Usyk KO. Nuke, one-up games. Bro, they always do fights at Saudi. If AJ is on the last limb, they make Saudi pay for it. Yeah, YB. Yeah. Because I remember he used to be the YB, the LDBC Slayer. I'm like, why the hell would you have a name like that after? I don't know. That's him. What do you think of the stare down? I think it was long, and I thought it was intense. I think it was long and intense stare down. And and see, like Joshua did start rocking though, and Usyk didn't move. Usyk just watched him like this with his eyes. And I don't even think Usyk blinked. And that's crazy, dude. That's a mentally strong brother right there. I didn't say nothing was wrong with YB. You know, I mean, there's been a lot of trolls. I don't want to say any names, but some content creators are getting on my nerves, but I'm kind of past a lot of that, now. You know what I mean? It's not worth the energy. Kurt going through it right now. That's what we do now. King Richard. AJ will be counterpunched if he goes all attack. Well, that's what you do if someone's attacking you, if you have the opportunity. I always watch your videos here from South Africa. Keep it up. Zarina Nail, counterpunch to you. Thank you. From South Africa. TIA, baby. Usyk not human. That is be a trip. You see him glitch one day. Hey, what was that? I am feed. No, man, you ain't no real. You ain't real. when Usyk should retire. I don't know. I think Usyk will retire when he becomes undisputed. And when he becomes undisputed, he's already 35 years of age. Terrence Crawford is 35 years of, well, he will be 35 in October or late September. I know he's a Libra. So I guess when he gets those belts, I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Gets the belt, gets all the belts, and defends all the belts. But that's a lot of ass whooping to do. You got to defend your mandatories. Then you got to fight for undisputed. Then you got guys like Joe Joyce, Ergovic, or Zile Zhang, whoever wins out of those. You have Joe Joyce, and then we have, if Tyson leaves, right, you have Wilder. Kurt, Hatman, and Sporting Icons are the best in your field. Keep it up, bro. Jimmy Mack. Yeah, I like both of those. I like Sporting Icons and I like Hatman Strikes Back. Yeah, Hatman Strikes Back is like an OG. Kurt, check my messages. You killed me with that. Like, just I missed it. I missed it. But I'm gonna have to run because I got some stuff to do. I promised my acting dad I was gonna pick him up. You know what I mean, and show him around and stuff. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Tomorrow will be the big day. I hope everybody is safe. Be ready to come back tomorrow. I will set up the live stream here in a little bit, and everyone has been counterpunched. Peace.